Well, here we are then for another My Team episode, and this one is the start of the season finale. Today we're here for Abu Dhabi. The championship is up for grabs, and today we're going to tackle qualifying. If you haven't seen the previous episode, the previous race at Jeddah, go check it out, link up in the top right. In the meantime, in the background you can see me taking care of activities and department events. With that said, we're going to jump into qualifying, and yeah, spoiler warning, I'm going to talk about the previous race and what happened. So if you haven't done so already, click off the video now and check out the last one. If you're going to enjoy this video, this episode, leave a like and consider subscribing as well to the channel for daily F1 content if you are new. But yeah, here we are then, qualifying at Yas Marina. As you'll see me adjust my setup in the background, I'm going to quickly brief on the previous race, which, to be fair, went about as perfect as we could have wished for. We dominated, we had to win, we got the fastest lap, we made a gamble going for the hard tyre, and it worked out well. So I'm glad that worked out fine, and we're going to have to gamble again this weekend. We need to win, we need to get the fastest lap, period, simple as that. We've got to try and do the best we can. So let's see how that works out for us as we jump into qualifying. Now, Q1, you guys know the drill by now. I like to get through on one set of tyres if possible. Abu Dhabi is usually one of the harder tracks for me to qualify at. The AI are pretty strong around here, so it doesn't really help. It's the season finale, but we're going to try and get by. As you saw just a moment ago, we had a pretty horrible chicane as we outbroke ourselves and then we're offline for the second part. So I actually ended up on purpose setting a second sector split and then backing off the lap. What we done was basically we set a very slow lap time of 1:42.7, but my first two sectors and delta were legit, and you can see now we're purple as we try to go again for a second consecutive push lap. I was about half a second up at the second sector split when I backed off my previous run, so a much better and improved second lap. Making our way through the final corner, didn't quite get the apex there as we make our way across the line. Verstappen going fastest with a 30.4, and we set a 30.9 and go P8 at the time. We then went back to the pits, and you can see we're P10 right now with a purple sector 2. I'm safe by about 6 tenths, so I actually didn't go out again. However, we almost got caught out. We finished in P16. However, we were safe by 4 tenths, but even still, it just goes to show, the AR went out for final runs, and there was a bit of time simulation where, the fade to black, cut to the results kind of thing, and the lap times get simulated. And the AR did set some funny lap times, they were much faster than what they would normally set. Nonetheless, we got through into Q2, and now we're back out on the circuit, fresh set of soft tyres, and going again. We're going to see if we can set a decent banker. We've got the setup completely unchanged for this first run. We're going to set a 1:31.0. You can see my face, I'm not really too happy. A little shake of the head as we actually got a tenth slower than Q1. Even though the lap felt better, it wasn't faster, and you can see here we have underfloor damage, so unfortunately we're going to have to get that repaired. In the meantime, while those repairs take place, we're going to go ahead and make some setup changes. I'm going to reduce the front wing to have a bit more overall stability. It will give us some understeer, but hopefully it won't affect us too badly. I'm also going to just drop the tire pressures a little bit and increase the off diff for more stability. I feel like I was struggling with the car balance a bit, and I want to try and be able to go flat out and commit with maximum confidence. So here we go, a minute and 45 seconds to go. We have to deliver a lap. We're P12 right now, so we're out in the elimination zone. This lap is going to be crucial. We nail turn 1. We get a bit out of shape through 2 and 3 as well, having a bit of a wobble. We're not really up by much in the first sector, which is a bit disappointing. Chicane, left, right. I didn't quite get the second apex there. I lost a bit of time to my previous best. Into the hairpin. Just about got the apex as I wanted to, but the exit wasn't ideal, and we're still pretty much neck and neck with our previous best. So this isn't a stellar effort. I was hoping to be about a 10th, maybe a 10th and a half up at this point. On the anchors though, at the 100-meter ball down to third, we perfectly stop the car at the apex and get the drive. We have a bit of oversteer though, again, and you can see my expression there, not really happy with it. Even though we're up by a 10th and a bit, it isn't the cleanest lap. Into sector 3 now though. Purple in sector 2, fourth gear through the chicane. This is where I managed to make up quite a bit of time. You can see here on the delta, we nailed that little sequence of corners, and we're nearly 4 tenths up. So a very strong chicane and making up for lost time. into the 90-degree corners now as we go through the hotel complex, trying to make sure we don't throw away the lap time and keep it nice and clean. Didn't quite get the apex there through that left-hander, just a bit wide of the mark. Through the penultimate corner, could have taken a lot more inside curb. And then the final corner, we know we ran wide here last time. Back on the power, across the line, and we improved to a 130.6. Currently P7, will it be enough to move to Q3? The answer is yes, it is. We just get through by 2/100ths of a second, but we are on the limit in terms of pace. A 130.669, and that is going to be me and Pierre through in P9 and P10, which is only just by the skin of our teeth. You can see here Q3, I'm going to make just a few more final tweaks to the setup before we hit the track. For this first run, we're going to use a worn set of soft tyres, the ones that we used on our first Q1 run, and we're going to see if we can set a decent banker, albeit with some tyre wear. And to be fair, I was really happy with this. This was the lap of the weekend in qualifying for me in terms of satisfaction. I absolutely hooked this one up. A 1:30.70 dead, which I was really happy with at the time. I was like, you know what, this is actually a decent banker. It gave us P9 and it set us up nicely for the final attempt in qualifying. So let's go for it and let's see what we can do under the night skies in Yas Marina. And there we go, across the line. It's not a good lap. You can see my reaction. I'm not exactly happy about it. And yeah, it wasn't to be. A really, really poor final run. We did improve to a low 6, but I'm not even going to lie. I reckon I could have maybe shaved off about 2/10, maybe even a bit more. I do think P6 was probably where we should have finished in qualifying today. I think that was realistic. I think there was enough small errors across the lap and, you know, missed apexes and stuff that I wasn't really happy with it. You know, it was a standard lap, but just a few key errors which, you know, I think really hampered the lap time down and really hurt us. I think the first sector was okay. That was about it in terms of what was, you know, great from the lap. Even then, I was struggling to get the car stable. But after that, I hit the bump at turn 4, which, you know, was a big issue. And then we ran super, super wide at the hairpin at turn 5. I think those two corners especially really compounded the lap time misery. Other than that, I'd say the rest of the lap was pretty decent, to be fair. You know, I think we did a good job. A few little details here and there, but I think those two corners were the ones that really stood out to me as the big, big mistakes. I'd even say maybe the hotel section wasn't fully perfect. We missed the apex again through the second left-hander, like we did in our first run. But yeah, pretty much, guys, that's it for qualifying. The race is tomorrow, and I have a bit of a preview for the race. Oh, yes! And yeah, Verstappen is not on pole. He has a grid penalty, and therefore we'll start the race tomorrow from P10. So, hopefully you tune in tomorrow. Like, subscribe, as always, a massive plug to the channel members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you guys for the race, the finale of Season 7, tomorrow in my team.